It is there are things we could say in a much clearer way that haven't been said.
So this is the issue that I had with that. And I think, I don't know if it's the 15th or the 14th Amendment, but the whole idea of if some of this stuff goes away, that, because essentially all you needed to do, the document, I wouldn't say I can't say this is a perfect document. It's a great document, like the rights, Constitution. But if you don't recognize people as people, then that's the thing that needs to be fixed. But if you recognize them as people, then we're back to the same document. And I can't, just because the argument that you're giving is the argument that can't be fixed. And so therefore I wouldn't introduce noisy new law to try to fix something that couldn't be fixed in the beginning. You have recourse. Just because I give you a law to secure your recourse, that's infinite. That's like an infinite regressive in a sense, almost like,
Hmm.
let me give you a law to secure the law that was already on the books. And actually, why not give you 3, 4, 5 more laws to secure the ones that were before those? When at the end of the day, we're talking about people not enforcing the things that's on the books.
People not enforcing the things on the books. There you go.
Right. So if it's just like policing, like you can have all of the restrictions and the things that you want police to do and not to do, but there are some rogue police officers and it just could go bad. And there's nothing, you can't stop that. You might be able to lower the number of cases. You may even get it to a super low. You can't stop people from going rogue everywhere all the time.
Can't control
It's just,
people. All you can do is put the protections in place.
yeah. And then and really the protection, yes, there are protections, but then that's like, I think you understand, it's just secures your avenue of recourse,
Mhm.
because it's like the bad thing is still going to happen because it just nobody can get to you.
You
The
can't
bad thing is still going
can't
to
stop
happen.
human, action or free will. Like, people are gonna make choices. That's gonna happen. But yes, the laws are there for recourse.
Yeah. And and that's one of the things, to me, you are robbing, and I'm not saying you specifically, but anybody who takes the art, when anybody takes the position that, it's almost like saying black people are too dumb to understand that that's the situation to me. Because you got to understand, you're going to have to get to a point where you understand that. Like, the law is there for your recourse protections and is for recourse. But the law can't change reality and people's decisions. It can't do that. So if they're rogue people, you have to understand how law, like it's to the point where it will make a person lose confidence in law because they never had confidence in law. They didn't understand what the purpose of the law was for. They thought the law
They
changed
saw
reality.
they saw it actively not being applied for them. So they're like, "Hey, this law is the same as not having a law." Like, we are saying things, but we are doing another thing. And that is the clear part that I think consistently happens. And I think that is the way they tried to fix that was by passing the law to say, like, "Hey, pay attention to this. This matters. You cannot do these things when you have a blatant, specific call out to do it correctly." And just, I think that has been violated, that is being violated, and is now going to be violated in a much greater degree because that is human nature. Like, in this sense, this is the system. We have our express system, and then we have our actual system. And I think our actual system is flawed to the point that people are very upset about how things are, and they're losing faith in this whole process. And it just makes it harder to encourage rule of law and safety when they're like, "But the law is not protecting me. It's not being applied justly across all cases. The people in power are just using the law however they want." It's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, then I'm not going to follow it then.
All right. But to me, that's a conflation and not really understanding the law to me, because that's not it. It doesn't do that. It's all it does is allow you to have a case. That's all it does. It doesn't, it's not changing. There's no stated law versus actual. There's no stated system versus actual system.
There definitely is.
There's
100%.
stated system,
Mhm.
and you don't really know what the actual system is. That's just called reality.
Yes.
You don't have any
That's
control of
reality.
that at all.
Oh, you have choices, so you get to have that amount of control, but you don't have the control of the system itself. It's certainly not of reality.
And I wouldn't call it a system. Like that's like, am I going to say just because there may be a high percentage of, well, let's just call it 1990s. If there's a high percentage of black boys who sell drugs, they have a system of drug dealing. Like,
No,
what the hell does that got to do with me?
I wouldn't go that way. No, I would say that, like, if you get caught up in the justice system in the '90s and you happen to be in a city or a place or even a subdivision that has black people selling drugs, and you happen to be a black person, that if you get picked up there, there's a good chance, a good judge is going to put you
But
in
what's
jail.
that got to do with me though, Josh? That's what I'm saying. Like you taking the other route. I'm saying like as a black man, if you're not doing that,
Oh, just
why would I want to play into the whole idea of systems that aren't specific?
I mean,
I
that's
would
the point.
nobody can
Because the
categorize me like
injustice is
that.
there. You are going if you live in that place, you are at risk of having the injustice happen to you.
But that's not a system though, Josh. That's just circumstance. It's not a system.
There are circumstances, but there's also a system making that circumstance happen and actively perpetuating those same injustices. I think that's something that we all have to agree. Like, hey, this isn't just magic. It didn't just happen out of nowhere. There are incentives to keep this going. They want this. It's happening. This is why it's happening.
But to me, but here's the thing, man. The fact that if you can't argue these things, when you say that there are incentives,
Yeah.
I'm not going to even acknowledge any incentives that aren't explicit. I'm only going to acknowledge explicit incentives.
But
And then if that's the case, then you're really actually supposed to pursue that. That's easy. I can say, this is bad for me. This is the thing that's supposed to happen to me when this situation happens. This is bad. This is in paper on a book. I can argue against that. But if I'm going to have to argue against, hey, people feel some kind of way sometimes, some ways, some places, some things, and we're going to call that a system, that's no different to me than people getting upset about capitalism. Like, then, oh, it's a system of oppression. That that claim now has credibility if I'm gonna look at systems like that.